So here's how to become emotionally stable. And why this is important is because this is the key, the biggest key to becoming financially stable, which is what everyone wants, right? Financial freedom and financial stability. And this is one of the biggest lessons I learned. And it took time to master this, right? Part of it is being here in a 95-degree and just finishing having half an hour calisthenics workout. My arms hurt just holding this up right now. Like even that guy's running and doing that and not being like, oh, it's too hot or this is this and that, right? And being physically fit, I've realized that helps with creating more money and all that too. But so first, let me share a little bit on what I see is emotional stability, right? And obviously the reason like this video is for those obviously who want to create more income, want to have better relationships, more stable relationships, more stable income. And these are the keys, right? And I remember for a while I used to just want to watch videos just to get that dopamine hit. But the videos with the real value, like they don't have background music, they don't have all these shortcuts that, you know, decreases everyone's attention span. Like if you want to make money, you cannot have low attention span, okay? Short attention span. So this is for those who actually care about this stuff, care about being better in life and achieving more. So emotional stability, most people think of that as like, especially in the context of making more money, they think of it as like, oh, it's important because if you lose money, then, you know, you'll be stable and blah, 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 right? Yeah, that is part of it. But also emotional stability is like, how much are you willing to go into debt, to risk, to take risks, to invest in things, obviously with the right mentorship and all that, and not see your money back for a while, but still continue to do the right things. That's part of being emotionally stable. Also, can you go through deals where you lose money and then you're in debt and you're like, damn, I don't know how I'm gonna come up with my rent. And instead of going and creating more money in your business, immediately you go and think about getting a job. Like that's not emotional stability, right? Like you'll never build a business if you just keep going back and not committing, right? It's okay to have a job and take the money and build the business on the side. But the moment you stop building the business just because it becomes uncomfortable, you see, that's why emotional stability is important, to push you through those uncomfortable points that will come, right? It's like I used to watch these guys online that talk about making money and having nice cars and all that stuff. And they make it sound so nice that I used to think, you know, this is gonna be easy. And then I start and then it gets tough and I'm like, oh, this does not feel good. And I remember that guru that told me if it doesn't feel good, don't do it and all that stuff. But I never could make any money back then, right? And it wasn't until I learned this key point of how to become more emotionally stable that I was able to even push through those uncomfortable feelings, to go through the periods where I didn't see money, to continue doing the right things until money started coming in. And still there's ups and downs, right? Like in every business there's ups and downs. But then you learn and then you grow and then you go back and you do it better. That's another part of being emotionally stable, is when you fail, when you lose, you don't get emotional about it. You logically look at the situation, you analyze it, you realize what could have been better, and then you go and you do it again and you apply the lessons you learn. And that is a very key thing. That is the most common thing amongst millionaires and billionaires I've seen, is they do not get emotional about their losses, right? If anything, they get angry, but they still can see what they did wrong and they go back and do the right thing next time, right? So now, for most of us that didn't grow up in, you know, upper class, wealthy families, and we were not emotionally stable, and growing up, you know, the whole family, there was drama, there's emotions everywhere. You grew up watching Disney and all that stuff, right? So one key thing I found is how to take emotions, which generally come from when thoughts are formed. First thoughts are formed, and then from the thoughts, emotions are created, right? If you could take the thought and dissect it, meaning you look at, okay, why is this thought here? And where does it come from? What is an emotion, or what is a memory that's attached to this thought? Because every thought is attached to a memory. And then if you could find that memory and you effectively do a process on it of what's called self-forgiveness, and I'll talk about all this in a second, then you could actually start neutralizing the feelings within each thought. And it actually, because many of you may be like, oh my God, I have so many thoughts. Like if I do this, I'll be doing this forever. But it's like, okay, let's say, look at this tree, right? So if you look at it, when you plant a seed and the seed eventually turns into this tree, and imagine all of these branches is like thoughts, represents thoughts, right? Yeah, if you go around and break each branch, like it'll take forever, right? It'll take a long time, not forever, but by the time you're on your last one, probably new branches are starting to grow, right? But imagine if you could find out what the root is and take the tree out from the root, all of the branches die with that, right? Same thing with a thought. If you find the initial memory, the earliest memory, and you do self-forgiveness on that, all these other thoughts magically just go away, right? So now I'll share a process, and if you want to learn about this process, self-forgiveness, all that, you'll have to go through this. And the process is called Destiny Eye Process. I'll put a link in the top of the description and click on it. It's a free course, and it'll take a few months to go through, and each day do it for about 10 to 20 minutes, depending on how much you want to do. You could do it on your laptop. It's best to do it on a laptop. Worst case, do it on a phone if there's no laptop near you for whatever reason. But set a reminder on your phone and go through it each day. And it'll support you to understand what is an emotion, what is a thought, where does our thoughts come from. And I've talked to a lot of wealthy people. Trust me, they don't know where their thoughts come from. And so that course, that free course, has been one of the major keys in terms of me becoming more emotionally stable. To where now in business, I could get rejected, in life and whatever, and I don't really react emotionally. I just see why I failed, learn from it, get back up, go back, and then I do it better, and then I start getting more of the results I want. And you could do this too. I came from very not so good background, like lower class family in a third world country. Like it was not the greatest upbringing, but I was able to do it, right? And so anyone watching this, if you have internet to watch this, I grew up with no internet, but if you have internet to watch this, like you can achieve it too, okay? So click the link in the description. Again, it's free, so I'm not getting paid. I'm doing this because I want to help whoever's watching this. And go through it. If you have questions, ask me questions. I'm looking forward to hear what you guys start getting out of this course. You can always DM me, give me your thoughts, feedback, and I'm looking forward to hearing them. Peace.